to one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Hundreds of thousands of fans that are pouring in to Montpellier. Yes, I did say hundreds of thousands. This is the big show. That was a double backflip transfer. That is insane.
The largest action sports festival in the world.
What's up, guys? Welcome back here to Montpellier for the FIS World Series 2019, presented by Honor and Montpellier Mediterranean Metropole. Thanks for joining us, and we're about to get going to do the Wakeboard Pro Men's Final. That's right, I'm Ryan Meyer. This is Ben Leclerc. Ben, thanks so much for joining us again in the booth. We had you out here last year. It was so much fun. How have you been doing through the last year?
Pretty good. It's been a busy year, but I'm stoked to be back.
Yeah, I noticed we have some big changes happening, but it's all about those top pro. We went down from a heavy hitting field down to, I believe, 6 athletes that we're down to now for the final. So it's going to be a big show for you guys out in the sun. It's a heavy hitting thing, and it's high 20s out there. We've had beautiful weather for this 5-day festival here in Montpellier. I can't say enough about all the competitors making this an incredible contest. You see there's an overview of our course right now. It is the Wakeboard Pro Men's Final. They've been gearing up and getting things going throughout the entire week. What have you noticed so far from the contest action this week, Ben?
It's been pretty hectic. There's a lot of good French riders this year. The riders are really young, and they've been really killing it. Like through the practice, I've seen the I've followed the whole contest from up to now, and it's been really surprising. Like some younger guys that were here when I used to compete a couple years ago, they're really on top, and a lot of the pros got kind of kicked off by the young French riders, and can't wait to see if they score well in finals. Hopefully, all the runs go down. So here's the park. You can see both kickers on each sides. You've got rail-to-rail transfers. You can jump. You'll see the guys jump from both obstacles from each cable. So it's not because you're on the right cable that you're only going to hit the rails that are on the right side. The guys can jump from the right kicker onto the other rail that's usually made for the other cable.
And but it's still going to count for both.
Yeah, so they're jumping everywhere. They're even some of the guys are riding the ledges on the side, the concrete ledges, so it's pretty cool.
It seems like a really interesting spot to do it as well. We've been pushing this so often out here at the FIS for years. If you guys are just tuning in, it's a FIS World Series. It's the second stop here on our series calendar. But we got big stuff coming in Wakeboard. We just talked about how you're able to go from one side of the course to the other no matter what cable you're on. But let's move out. How is this format exactly pushing for the 6 athletes?
So both the riders are going to get 2 chances on each cable, and their best run counts. And then they're going to take both scores and put them together to make 1 score out of 100. So you get 2 tries.
Two tries on each
cable.
On each cable. Okay. So that's a nice way to break it down for you guys right there. We have a big panel of judges as well, but like in most of the freestyle disciplines, there's a criteria that those guys are working with. How does that go?
Well, I know the judges. I know they're going to look at style. They want to see big tricks on the bigger obstacles, but you just got to be smooth. You got to be the most technical, but at the same time, it's got to look good. And I think it's going to be a good final because all the guys out there, they're pretty technical, and they can pull out rabbits out of their hats because all of the runs have been changing since the beginning. Like, you got to up your run every time. There's so many heats you got to go through, and you can't just pull out all your tricks before the finals. So I think we're going to see some new stuff, and it's going to be cool.
Well, there you have the panel of judges on top of the little scaffolding. We have its perfect spot over the viewing area. You said you know the judges. Is this a hard job to do?
Yeah, I'm way more happy to be sitting here than be sitting there.
It's a tough one, but we have some of the biggest experts in wakeboard out there. Perfect viewing angle for all of them so they can see both cables. Let's take a look, though. Any highlights for you coming out of these top 6, Ben?
Yeah, I was surprised. You see the last one that qualified there, Pedro Caldez. He's a young French rider. He's got some really good tricks on the rails. Might need to push it a little bit harder on the jumps, but it's really cool to see him up there. Then we got 3 French riders in the finals, which is not usual for the top seats. And it's really cool. Shiro, he's been killing it all year. He went to travel in the States. He's been doing a lot of contests. And hopefully he can stick it together. And it's all about putting the perfect run down, because everybody's going to drop something good. So we never know.
Well, that winning spot coming out of semifinals was taken from Victor Salmon, but Pedro Caldez is starting things off here for Wakeboard.
With a backside 540. It's hard to be the first guy out there, too.
It is, as well. It's difficult for the judges. They have to set the bar not too high, not too low, and make sure they have breathing room for the next 5 athletes going through.
See the rail hit he just did right there? That's one of the only guys doing it. Jumping from the round pipe to the other rail is pretty cool. And then the 540 into the bank. So you'll see here the rail-to-rail transfer, frontside 3 out. Pretty good run to start things off, and it's good for him to set some tricks for the first run, then you can kind of go all out on the second one.
We've seen as well wall rides in courses in the past. What's the difference possibly with having more rail hits? Does it change kind of the approach to how?
I think like on the rails you can look so much. I think you can differentiate yourself from the others. Like you give so many opportunities to change your line or press your trick a different way. Like you can really do it your own way on the rails a bit more than on the jump, since it's kind of quick and hectic.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see an event with no kickers, like just to see only like a rail run. Then you can see the guys like pushing it technically, and I don't know, just put really their own style into it. It's cool though to have the jumps, and especially for the crowd, everybody wants to see the jumps, but it's really nice to have big rails like that too. Like you see the 2 rails in the middle, you can really like you could do possibly 200 different tricks on that thing, so you never know what the guys are going to do.
So do you think that's where the sport is kind of evolving with rail stuff? I mean, a lot of action sports is really focused on how many big tricks you can do up in the air. It seems like you actually really like the style aspect of changing the little tweaks in rails.
Yeah, well, I think it can really fit on just like the way we're doing it here with the lines. Like it's not judged on one trick on one thing. It's really judged on an overall how you hit one thing, and then how you adjust between your tricks, and really like perfect your line and do it how you want, you know?
It's an interesting take on it. Bobby Carnet coming back on his second half of his first cable pull.
With a backside 270 transfer going off a little bit at the end. And then rail to rail. Oh, that's kind of cool. Going over the rail into the bank. Not sure if that was planned, but it's all good.
As well, a nice way to link it up. It shows a lot of diversity. You kind of can have different line selection a lot on that middle rail section.
So coming in wrap with the handle behind your back, so you don't have to pass the handle. Maybe a bit more of a sure shot for a contest, because you don't want to drop the handle and finish in the water.
Would that be higher difficulty or lower difficulty then for judges?
I'd say lower. But at the same time, for some people, it's kind of harder to come in with the rope in your back.
It looked like he was actually really going for that into the bank.
See, I was telling you, there's too many options.
Yeah, there is so many options. It's hard to count. That's what makes it such a difficult job for the judges. That's why you like having the job speaking up here with me in the booth.
And now we got Pedro Caldez from Brazil. He's been killing it in the practice runs. I've been watching him. He's really evolved. We've seen him here like 3 or 4 years ago, and he's got a bit older, and you can see he's been riding a lot, and he's really pushing it hard. Especially off kickers. Check him out.
It's very dry going into this. Oh,
See how I was talking about making your line and coming into the bank. So you're going to jump at the top. One of the only riders jumping up there.
It's a huge transfer.
With the board slide to front board. Coming back, rail to rail transfer. So he got the full pull on there, maybe a bit more points. The judges really want to see the guys do the rail the whole way. So don't try to hop just like this and kind of just like figure your way out. You got to make sure you do the rail the whole way and make it clean. I think that's what they want to see.
So we've talked about it a bit before. I mean, you'll be seeing some scores coming in on the screen, but each of the wakeboard athletes here get 2 attempts at each cable. There's going to be an accumulative score after that.
It's cool to have the drone shots with the back like this. You really see the options there. His nose just got caught up and he couldn't jump from one side to the other.
It's really nice actually how drone coverage has changed our kind of, you know, we used to have a set of all the big cable cams. Now we have drone coverage just really doing justice, puts us in some beautiful perspectives.
Yeah, especially these guys. It's one of my friends filming behind the drone, and he's followed me in the Philippines a couple of times. And this guy can follow you just like a video game. He can be 5 feet behind you.
Wow.
So Shiro, first run with the KGB. So the last French rider in there. The backside 540 into the bank. Jules just got on Red Bull this year. Pretty cool to have a French rider up on there.
It's always a big thing to get that energy drink helmet. It always means kind of you see the best in the world, and we have a lot of that out here. So coming out to the fees, it's a big contest. It's not just about one discipline, I think, which is so nice. You have all these different aspects of action sports and the top professionals in the world kind of coming together and enjoying to be able to watch all the other sports. Have you been able to cruise around to see anything else over the week?
Yeah, it's been pretty, it's not that hard even in a wheelchair to go around here. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people, but I think it might be even easier. They're checking me, they're watching me come between everybody and like, damn, what's this thing when I'm coming with the wheelchair, and it kind of helps. But yeah, it's been super cool to go see all the other events. The skating with the concrete skate park has been looking awesome.
Yeah, it's nice that we keep changing like that. And also the park builders here, they're just so versatile, building wakeboard parks down to inline, scooter, roller, and as well we have the concrete park now. Dirt jumps for BMX, but we're in the water today.
Oh yeah. No, it's so good. You don't see many events that have all these all stacked together on the same side of the canal. You know, you don't have to do like 4 kilometers to go see another event. They're all back to back, and the crowd, it's easy to just go from one to the other. All right, we got Dom Handler out here. He's won fees before. Backside 180, double grab. See what I was talking to you about?
Oh, wow, yeah. Really going on the ledge.
Hell yeah. Coming in with the switch, backside mob into the bank.
Beautiful.
It's one of his signature trick. So another Red Bull rider like you were talking about. See that with all those rails, you can have so many different lines. You can hop beside the rails too. They're on the concrete straight up. And then nose press from rail to rail, 270 out. That's pretty technical. You'll see a lot of the guys jump from one rail to the other, but they probably won't be doing a press like on the nose or on the tail, because it's harder to get your balance and jump from one rail to the other from that. But he's been doing some pretty crazy hits like that.
Ooh. Going so far, you see, with this angle. And then coming up into the ledge here.
Yeah, you gotta open your eyes and turn around before that ledge comes up. And then with the back mob, grab the whole way, that was perfect.
It's also a nice thing having the crowd so close to you there. It's really kind of one of those interactive options that you can have in your line.
And then they cheer you up when you're turning in the corners.
Yeah.
Or if you miss your trick, they let you know.
So you see right there with that pull, Dominic sits in first place. As the scores sit right now, he has a 69.16.
And then you see Victor Salmon. He had the highest score in the qualifyings, so he goes last. He's been really riding good this past week. With the chromo, a bit smaller than the other guys off the kicker, and then that concrete ledge too. Ooh, coming in wrap with the rope in his back with the 540 into the bank. Damn, that was cool. 180 on the pipe rail and then transfer to the last rail. One of the only riders doing that line. And then backside one onto the double rail, double pipe, 450 out. Damn. Well, I think that was the run he was going for.
Nice, good first pull for Victor. Your first place semi-finalist. Coming from living in Bangkok, Thailand.
Yeah, lives in Bangkok, Thailand, rides a Thai wakeboard. Originally from Belgium, but he's been understanding that Thai wakeboard is a bit more of a better spot to learn wakeboarding and get better than living in Belgium, because you can ride whole year round on a really good park.
We're waiting for that score to come in for Victor. Currently, Dominic was sitting in first place there with a 69.16.
Yeah, I think this might pull off Dom's score to get first place. Ooh, see the drone shot right there?
Beautiful action right there. Who's manned the drone? Oh, give a big shout out right there. 77.08. You're right. That's going to be taking it away from Dominic, new hot seat leader, as our first place semifinalist Victor Salmon moves into the hot seat right there. We're going to re-rack and go back for second pulls on cable one.
So Teo Balza. Oh, damn, he's going for the double grab 540 on that one. Maybe had a little bit of stress after seeing those runs.
I was going to say, we had quite consistency through our first six first pulls on cable one.
Yeah, it's got to be a bit of a pressure. Bit of a pressure push when you see Victor's run right perfectly and you know that it's your last try. But hey, it's all part of the game. He's young and he'll be back. It's not his last fees, that's for sure.
Still has a chance, however, if we go to cable two, there is going to be an accumulative score added up for the best runs. So as you're seeing, there's 2 pulls on each cable. So each of our 6 wakeboarders are going to be able to get 2 attempts on cable 1 and 2 attempts on cable 2. You're going to be taking their best score from each of those cables and dividing them to get the average.
50-50 transfer, 270 out. With a little tune-up on the bindings in the corner. Coming in, toe side, backside, 540. Whoop, getting a little bit of a slack on there. That's what's kind of hard off of these banks. When you land down there, you got no more tension because you're going faster than the cable. So you really got to land your trick perfectly and have your shoulders aligned with your board, because if not, you're going to get spinning when you land on the water. And it doesn't look like that because the guys don't do it because they're really good. But I bet if you'd go try, you'd probably make a little spin.
I was just going to ask you, you know, like, I've been doing some little features. For instance, inliners finally after 4 years got me some skates and took me on course. Was able to drop in, and I was wondering, how would it be if you guys would get me on a wakeboard? What would I be able to do? Let's just see if I could take 1 pull straight.
Maybe I'd make you turn around before the rails. But you know what? Maybe next year, send you on one of those kickers. Go test out the water.
That would be very fun. Let's see if my producers approve of this.
I'll bring you my helmet. You'll be fine.
Well, there you go. Score.
Looks like he's got
in
some.
for Balsa. No, or that's still his
That's
first
his first
run,
score.
It's first run score.
Maybe he didn't beat his first run score, and they kept the first score with 55, I think.
I think that's exactly what happened. Keeping the first run score with 55. That's going to be his highest one, which is good enough for 6th place. As we go over to Bobby Carnet, who's currently sitting with a 68.08 in 3rd place.
Coming in wrap, backside. Ooh, that was going to be a backside 5, maybe. But that's what's kind of weird of having the rope in your back. You can kind of get pulled from the cable, and you don't have as much range since you're not holding it with your arms, you know?
Yeah.
So you get pulled from, like, your center of gravity is in your back, which is kind of weird. But sometimes it works out. He was another surprise of the French riders coming up in the finals. I think it's his first final ever.
Wow, that's a cool thing, obviously, with the fees. I mean, a very elite level of action sports competition coming for all of the disciplines that happen here at the fees, but it's not an invitation-only contest. Many of you know that if you go to a professional division contest, it's always an invite, and out here at the fees, it's an open qualification process. If you guys want to come out, you have no sponsors, you think you've been hitting up your local cable park and everything is good, and you want to test your luck against the top athletes out here, maybe you think you can beat Victor, well, register. You can come try your luck in the qualifications, and if it happens, you're going to make your way into the semifinals. You can work your way up just like the pros in this one.
Yeah. You never know. You show up, and if it goes well, it could change your life around.
Exactly. I think that's a really nice thing that the fees offers for sports, because also it shows us such new talent every time. Like you said, Bobby right here, this is probably his first finals. We see this in every other sports discipline. I think that's so beautiful for the sports. We get this new influx of young talent throughout all the disciplines.
It was the same for the girls, too. The finals yesterday, the girls are really young, and they're killing it. Like, I just think about a couple years back when there was a bit more international field, I would say. There was more girls from everywhere in the world. And I bet you if those girls were up a couple years back, they would have probably pushed off all the big pros that were here. So it'd be cool next year. I think this year the word's going to get around, and all the girls are going to be like, damn, all right, now we got to get back there because the kids are pushing us off the podium.
I think that's very cool to hear. It'd be really nice to see women's wakeboard as well out here on the live. I think it would be a very cool event to host with you. Let's see how we can work into that. Pedro going for his second pull here.
The shifty backside 360, and then the back one over the kicker. The forward slide, switch up, 270 rewind. Like I said before, the only rider going up on top of the wall, just a bit different. And going for the rail transfer here. Perfect, full pull. That's what the judges want to see. With the back lip, switch up, rail to rail, another switch up.
Nice. I think he cleaned that up from his first run.
Yeah, he looks stoked. That's cool. You finish off your first run, and at least you're a bit like, you know, all right, like you've done half of the job well, but you still got the other cable to push it.
Yeah.
So with the method, backside 3. Maybe a bit of an easier trick than the other guys off of that kicker, but then he gets more technical in the rest of the field. .50-50 stale fish. Didn't we have that discussion last year? Me telling you about what a stale fish was?
Yeah.
Should have called it.
I'm trying, but I don't want to miss this one up. But yeah, okay, 67, an improvement in that score. I think. Oh, pardon me. Actually,
no, Bobby Carney got an improvement.
Bobby Carney got an improvement. Pedro, we're still waiting.
I think he's gonna get back up there. Then Jules Shiro, second run, French rider. Let's go, Jules.
Jules here.
The huge KGB. Decide not to jump over the jump, because if this guy runs into it, the jump's gonna break. With the 540, perfect.
What is the KGB if you break that down?
It'd be like a cartwheel.
Okay.
With a backside 3.
Okay.
Or like a flip with a backside 360. So you're going off your heels and you're landing on your heels again too. Toe side, backside 180, backside lip, switch up, 270 out.
Wow. That is showing that you have so much diversity on these rails.
Yeah, because you won't see, like, I don't think any of these riders are doing the same thing off of these. Looks like he's setting up for a good score. See, would that be a cartwheel how you started? Kind of like a front flip, cartwheel type of thing. And then you pass the handle in your back and you do a backside 360.
I mean, it's so incredible to watch the acrobatics of this, but how do you guys learn the tricks?
I learned them on a trampoline.
Yeah?
Yeah, you tie a rope to your tree that's closest to your trampoline and get used to having a rope in your hands and not getting it caught up in your feet when you're flipping and spinning around.
So does it change your... Oh, nice score coming in, 75. Puts him into second place there. Bumps Dominic into third.
That's just gonna crank him up to go bigger. Going for the backside 180. A little ledge in front of the crowd. Coming in for the switchback mob.
Back second pull.
And back on his heels, hopping on the side, front board, 450 out. A little bit better than his first run. And then the nose press, transfer, 270. See, that's what I was telling you about hopping off from the nose press. It's pretty hard, but not for this guy.
Make it look easy out there.
Yeah. Dom's not he's not unfamiliar to these finals. He's won fees twice, I think, now. So he's definitely a contender again this year.
Checking some highlights right here from Dom.
Maybe putting down a hand a little bit more than the first run, but if he's lucky, the judges didn't see that from where they are. And they're not listening to me right now.
Do the judges usually have a replay? Are they allowed to do replays in their judging, or it's just from instant sight?
I think it's from the instant sight, yeah. Keeping it real.
So they have to be on it and completely prepared. Wait for those scores to come in. Currently, 69.16.
I think that was his first run, the 69?
Yeah, I do believe that's his first run. Victor right now is on top of the board with the 77 after his first run. Still holding strong. See if he can even increase that more.
Yep, coming with the chromo, 50 front 3 out, off the ledge. And then holding on from the back with the backside 540. hopping 180, 270 transfer to that rail. Nice. Just gonna pull it together. Backside 180, 50-50, frontside 3 into the bank. Ooh, probably not what he was going for, but he's already got a pretty good score. Will he get a better one now?
Victor finishing off there. Do you think it's going to be an improvement from that 77?
It's hard to say. He kind of did something that he wasn't planned, I think, on the last rail. But the rest went pretty good, so it's hard to say. I'll leave that one to the judges. See, this is cool. The big ollie, 270 transfer. And those ledges are pretty slippery.
Yeah.
Like doing a backside 180 onto that thing, you can slip out pretty easily.
Yeah.
And end up on your back. So Victor waiting on his score.
We're showing right there, that's the first run.
So is he gonna up himself?
Well, we've been catching up with you in the off season. We were out here last year discussing your injury and how life's been going, but we as well caught up with you previously to see how's everything going for you in the last year, Ben. Let's take a look at some of that.
It's been a long road. It started in Florida where I was in intensive care for a week, and then once I was able to breathe by myself, I could finally go to rehab. At least I've got a little bit of things that can move. I got my second arm that started to move, regaining a lot of strength. It's been overwhelming how much people are supporting me. I never thought there'd be this much love in wakeboarding. Everybody who donated, it's crazy. It helps a lot. Besides all the moral support I've been getting, I'm pretty confident I'll be back, but just don't know. Time will tell.
I mean, that's an amazing one to see, Ben, and just me personally, seeing you from last year to this year is just a testament to, I mean, spinal cord research as well, and to yourself for showing how much more mobility you have within your strength. How are you feeling?
Like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, no, we're getting there. We'll start entering you in the new bodybuilding contest. I'll get Arnold on the phone as well. But I mean, you said that a lot of people have been supporting and donating. This is such a cool thing with the action sports community as well as wakeboard. Do you have anywhere that people can go to help donate?
Yeah, we made a website. It's called bensquad.org. And you can buy hats and stickers, a couple of stuff that we're putting on there. And I'm going to make a bit more updates. I'm trying to make them, but I'm so busy with rehab and trying to train as much as I can. It's kind of good to come here and have like a week off finally. Yeah. And it's always good to take a break and come back stronger.
Yeah.
But I've been just pushing as hard as I can with the rehab. And as long as much as you do it, the better you get. So I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Yeah, it's amazing. I just want to give a big congratulations, and like, amazing to see how much mobility you have and how much determination you're pushing forward, and just, I mean, also giving a lot of encouragement to other people who have spinal cord injuries and are trying to go through this very difficult rehab process, and, you know, just giving encouragement and as well showing a positive support. So big ups to you for that, and big ups coming out here and teaching me a lot about wakeboarding. But we're going to be getting back to the action out there. We're going to be starting the second runs or I mean the second cable, pardon me, for our top 6 out here in the Wakeboard Pro Finals for FIS Montpellier. You guys are just tuning in. Got Ben Claire with me right now, and we're about to get things started on the second cable. So we got a lot of action happening, obviously, here in Montpellier. We also have social media. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you follow us on your mobile devices. Get us at Twitter and Instagram at FISWorld. Hashtag your post FIS Montpellier. But as well, our YouTube channel has a lot of incredible content going on there. Just type in FIS into the search bar and you get us. It's F-I-S-E. You pronounce it FIS, not FIS. And that's just something to say, you guys. I mean, coming from the English side, most people want to say FIS, but it's FIS. Look at the weather, though. It's 24 degrees Celsius and sunny. It's been blistering up in the top 20s, but it feels hotter, I'm telling you. When you're in the sun, it's scorching. Perfect weather, though, right now to be in the water for wakeboard. We're in the middle of the Wakeboard Pro Finals out here in Montpellier. You see that new white tree building. And, of course, we have a winning run actually coming, I believe, from last year. Let's take a look at some highlights. Well, the athletes set up for pull 2.
Like I was saying, Dom Handler has won this event before with the double grab backside 180. Hopping off of the kicker, or over the kicker, I would say. There's the same trick, the back mob into the bank. And then rail-to-rail transfer with the tail grab in there. You see, even this year, like the rails are much, the tricks are much different, even though it's kind of the same similar setup.
Had that huge rail last year, though, as well.
Yeah, but this year it's much different on that side. We'll see that it's really cool with the 2 rails and the jump. It's much different. You don't see that in many events either.
So there you see, Dominic is currently sitting in 3rd position. High score from his first run. But right now, our first place semi-finalist, Victor Salmon, is in the lead still with his 77.08 that he got from his first pull on cable 1. We're going to be moving out to the next cable, second cable, that is 12 runs actually, because each rider is able to get 2 attempts on each of the cables. Then we're taking the best score from each of those cables, add up those, divide them, so you get the average, and then you're going to have the winner. It's a bit of a complicated process, but you get more action on screen, and it's better for all the wakeboard athletes. Coming out here and only having 1 pull, I think that'll be a bit of a difficult chance.
Yeah, and way too much pressure.
Yeah, way too much pressure, and we want to have fun out here at the FIS. This is what we're looking at. Standings after cable 1: Victor, Jules, Dominic, Bobby, Pedro, Theo.
Yeah, I think that setup might change a little bit. You'll see those the names change up a little bit. I think Dom's going to try to get back up on the top of the podium like he's used to, and all the younger guys aren't really going to let him do that easily. Victor's pretty good, and it's crazy because it's not played out. Like usually after the first cable, it's kind of played out and the cards are set. But now it's really anybody's game. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do, especially on that big rail in the back. The rail-to-rail transfer. Is anybody going to do the mega gap that I've been looking forward to? I know a couple of the guys
do this.
Not yet, but there was one French guy that was looking at it, and he didn't make it to the finals.
What is the mega gap?
Well, there's a jump, and then you land in it's like a hallway between the two rails.
Yeah.
You've got another jump in there that gets you onto the down rail.
Okay, but we're going to have to see if anyone links that one up. You've been eyeing it up.
Well, I've been eyeing it up, but it's easier to eye up when you're not riding. So we'll see if anybody goes for it, but if not, it's going to be cool anyways because that thing's pretty big.
Teb also going to be our first wakeboarder to drop in on cable 2.
So again, he's got all the pressure on himself. What's going on? The cable's a bit slow, maybe. It's his first final at FIS. we can let him ride slower. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a technical difficulty here. He could spray the rails down for the others. See the gap I'm telling you about? You see the jump at the end right there?
Yeah.
If you could jump over the whole 2 rails onto the other one.
Okay.
But hey, let's not go crazy. So I think he's going for the rerun. Maybe the cable speed wasn't perfect like he wanted it.
Are they changing? Do they change cable speed each time?
Not each time, no. But it could be a little bit of a wrong setting once you've started. They kind of keep you at that same speed. But as a rider, you can see it straight up if it's not the perfect speed that you're used to from practice.
Yeah.
It's really the way you set up for the rails, the way you cut in. If the speed's a bit different, it changed the whole thing. So I'm gonna get him back out there. I don't know, is that gonna be more stressful for him or less stressful for him to have a run down like that?
Yeah,
kind of warm your legs down. And
you seem quite emotional with that one, but I mean, some would say, you
get a little view of the course from up close.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in the meantime, as we are waiting for that rope to tie up, there's a lot of other contests going out here in the FEES. You want to check it out, fees.fr. You get all the info for every other event and the schedule of the day. It's just the first contest of our final day here at FEES. Let's get going though. Teo Balsa is about to start, hopefully at the right speed this time. No, it looks like he has a problem with this. Well, we're gonna sort the cable out there on course. It's a bit tough for Teo. See, he's gonna push through, but you see on screen the schedule of the day: UCI BMX Freestyle Park World Cup Men's Final. That's starting at 3 o'clock. That is one of the biggest events we have out here. But then finishing off the day at 5:30 with UCI BMX Flatland Pro Men's Final. It's a huge one. We have some incredible action coming your way, but lots of stuff happened out here at the FEES, the largest free sporting event in the world. Over 600,000 spectators come and join us live here at the FEES each year for a 5-day festival in the French sun. It's an amazing one. Make sure you guys mark it on your calendar. If you have yet to visit, you should put it on there, because once you come, you will never want to leave. It's such an amazing event. So many people come out from sun up to sundown and even into the lights when we go to the BMX spine and the skateboard and inline spine. Such a cool event. But we're back here in the glorious sun of the southern French city, Montpellier, where we are in the Les River and gonna start things up with our first rider. The wakeboarder Teo Balsa is gonna start things hopefully with the right speed on the bar. How do you basically change speeds? Like what you said, you're not usually trying to set different speeds, but is that maybe just a mechanical, or is somebody actually running that cable? How does that work, Ben?
It's the driver. Up in the tower, there's drivers controlling the remote. And if they don't set it to the right speed, then you kind of go into that speed. You don't have a choice when you're the rider, but I think it's only a technical problem. They're going to get it all back up to speed, and everybody's on the same speed, so everybody's got the same type of run
to deal with. Yeah. Well, that's fine. We're just going to wait a moment to get the speed ready back up on that cable cam. Been talking about the FEES World Series here in Montpellier, but it's not the first one that we started this year. Things were going in Hiroshima, Japan, and we have a FEES World Series going all the way back to Asia. Let's take a look. This is the FEES World Series.
Welcome everybody, it's the FEES World Series.
The largest action action sports festival in the world.
16 parks, 30,000 kilometers traveled, 500 athletes. All leads to here.
Firing it out, double bar spin. Holy smokes. Oh, perfect.
Absolutely amazing.
The energy from the fans is phenomenal.
The largest BMX contest in the world.
The Olympics. Who could potentially qualify for the 2020 games?
When the smoke clears, we are going to have a champion.
You guys see it on your screen right before us. Things are going to be ending up October 31st. Bring out the costumes for Halloween. We're going to be in China, though, Chengdu, like we always do, making it an annual event. It would be cool. I don't know if we have Wakeboard out there anymore. We had it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
We keep switching things up. We want to add more disciplines, take out a couple, but it would be nice to have the Wakeboard back in there. It's going to be a fun event. But you guys check out the calendar. You just have to go to fees.fr as well as Fees TV. We have a YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube, type in Fees, F-I-S-E in the search bar. You get incredible content. You have all the replays happening from the big action here in all the contests. You have the highlights, but as well you have the coverage from the sports that we do not have the lives for. So for instance, we have parkour, which is the park just behind me. In the background, you have that incredible event that you do not see on the live. We also have some interesting stuff like inline spine ramp, skateboard spine ramp. We have so much content going on online that you're able to watch. So back to the wakeboard action. Is this Teo Balsa
Yeah, I think he's
things
up to
off?
speed with the chromo. Boom. He lands it. Cable looks like it's going fine now. Here's a spot where you don't want the cable to stop. With the 50-270 transfer on the flat rail.
Yeah, I can imagine going into that gap with not the right cable speed. It's nowhere.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to not think about when you're hitting it.
Yeah.
And then here's the big transfer with the hallway onto the down rail, which is really hard for the riders to see the down rail because it's far away. So when you hop in the hallway, you don't see the rail where you're going for.
That could be a huge gap. This is the mega one you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
But when you see that the cable might go a bit slower, you're not going to want to go for the gap.
So how actually, I mean, if you're all going with the same speed like that and you have speed set up, so you're just going into the top of that gap, how would you generate so much more speed?
With your legs.
So you
if you hop higher, then with the velocity you'll have, you'll go further. You know? So the higher you go, the further out you land. And you see there, he kind of absorbs so he doesn't go too far in the hallway.
Yeah.
But instead of absorbing, if they push as hard as they could, who knows? Maybe this year in the finals, maybe next year. Pretty sure we'll see something like that. And then we had a guy in the qualifiers who was going from the top rail, hopping transfer onto the down, which is pretty cool. But I don't think any of the other riders had the balls for it.
And so he wasn't able to make it through the qualifiers.
Or he made it through the qualifiers. I think he just got cut off right before the finals.
That's too bad.
It's hard to get to the finals. You have so many heats to go through, so many guys that are riding well. You got to be consistent for like 3 days.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks. So Bobby Karn going into the flat rail with a nose press, backside 3. Getting stoked
for this one, getting the crowd excited.
Backside 270, perfect. Perfect surprise, because you don't really see that rail coming, from what they've been telling me.
It's a blind takeoff.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if they look onto the plastic for some, aiming for a crack or something in there, but definitely you're not seeing the down rail at the end.
That's funny, actually, the things that you do to figure out where's your takeoff position when you're actually riding.
Yeah, I was talking about it with the judges, and one of them was telling me, like, who knows, maybe one at the middle of the night's going to go with a marker and make his little spot somewhere, and you can aim at that. But hey, let's not cheat.
We used to do that with biking when we were going off of a cliff drop. We would set up 2 rocks between where our wheels have to go because we have no idea where the landing is. And you'd set up then 2 positions before to know what angle you have to take off.
See, we saw it perfectly from there with the drone angle. Guys from Blackbird Productions are the man behind the remote.
Blackbird really killing it on the drone action there.
You got to be careful so you don't hit the rope with that drone because it's going right in the les.
Pedro Caldez for his.
Oh! He's been going huge off of that kicker. One guy in the practice went so big and landed right in front of the other jump.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can really, as you were saying, if everybody's going at the same speed, how do you go bigger or smaller? It's the difference between how you edge. You see it? If you cut in at the last second into the jump, you'll generate more speed, and then you can go a bit higher. And then it depends from the pop you do with your legs on the kicker too, and the timing. But Pedro's been getting them legs going because he's been going big all week. With the front side lip, tail tap 270. Scrubbing off some of that seaweed off of his knees. And then see what I was telling you about coming in right there. Surprise. But doesn't look too much of a surprise because they keep getting it. And then with the big transfer onto the other rail of the other cable. 270 Indy, the front board.
Gives a handoff. Pedro right now is sitting in 5th position. The 64.91 after his first run.
Yeah, kind of hard that he fell from that first jump because the rest of the run was pretty perfect.
So you guys are just tuning in. It's Wakeboard Pro Final out here in Montpellier.
Shiro. Et pour Gilles Shiro, à votre avis, qu'est-ce que je veux? Les dames d'abord, du bruit. Les dames toutes seules, du bruit pour Gilles. Maintenant, les hommes. Ça va être assez corridor pour sa première ligne. Pour son premier arrêt de là. Oh, énorme. Allez, ça va chercher le concert. Et voilà. Oh, c'est super là. C'est nickel. Gilles Shiro fait les bruits. Allez, notre prochain arrivé.
Well, you guys, we're just having some technical difficulties. We've lost all our power, and we have no video footage. So unfortunately, you guys, I'm just going to be kind of filling you in here with nothing. But we have no video coverage at all right now of the event up here in the booth. So sorry, you guys must be watching on your screens. I'm hoping you guys have some kind of video coverage. I can hear some noise coming from the wakeboard side, but Not much to fill you guys in with right now, apart from not much out here. Sorry, you guys, but you're gonna have to just wait for us. Apologies, we're just having some technical difficulties up here on our screens. We have a complete blackout from power. I'm just on our direct feed audio link, providing you guys with some action, but I think we're going to be able to. Wow. Okay, so here we have it. We're sharing a microphone here with Ben.
All right, so Dom's coming into the corner for his run.
Still having errors up here now. We don't have coverage anymore. But you guys, thanks for tuning in right now. Coming at you, we're sorry, but hopefully the feed is working on your end. We're dealing with a big blackout up here in our announcing commentary area. Guys, might have to just go with no audio from us at this point. We will be back to you in a moment.
Coming.
Here we go. Back at it, guys.
All right, we're back. So Victor coming back in on the hallway. 50-50, frontside 270 with the melon coming out fakey. We're not sure how the beginning of that run went, but it's going good now. Back 270 transfer onto the big rail. Ooh, I think he looks stoked on that run.
Well, sorry you guys for that delay. We're back at it. It's been a difficult one here. I have never had that happen. We had actually the entire power station shut down, and our crew was working really hard to get things back up. We had one audio link that was throwing the microphone between Ben and I here. Well,
it's all good. We're back.
It's all excitement up here. I don't know exactly where we are in the contest right now. It was the current leader, Victor Salman, and here we have a replay.
Back 270, the top view. Back 270 rewind off that rail. Coming in from the hallway with a melon 270 full pull, perfect with the front board down there. Sick run from Victor, and then back 270 rail. Oh, 270 out at the end. That's cool. He looks stoked. Let's see if the scores are coming up. All right, so we're starting with the second runs with Teo Balsa. He's coming in for his last run out there.
Sorry,
a little
guys.
bit of trouble with the cable at first, but it's all good now. With the chrome obes, he's sticking it there. Perfect. Better first part of his run. Coming in with the 50-50 switch up, 270 out. All right, come back in from the corner into the hallway. With back 270, a little bit off the rail. Like I was saying, it's hard to really aim on that thing. And then last hit, rail to rail, 270. That's really good. I think that's what brought him up to the finals. A really good transfer hit on that. And it's going to finish off his contest well. First final ever for him, French rider. I'm sure this is going to it's going to get him stoked to push back and be back next year.
Yeah, Teo had the difficulty with the cable pulling on.
Ok, pour Dominic Handler. Ça va. Attendez. Voilà, c'est bon. Lui, ok. Alors, ça part, MONTPELLIER. Ça va chercher les kicks. Gros écart. Énorme droit. Double droite. Allez, gros sortie droite. Nickel. C'est très engagé.
One of you guys can hear me? Yeah, we are back with an audio feed, but no video feed, unfortunately. So gonna just be telling you guys, until we get video feedback, we're not gonna be able to have much audio for you. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, we were in the second pull, so the last attempts out here on Wakeboard for our top 6 wakeboarders. FWS Montpellier. You guys are just tuning in. Not gonna have the best of audio coverage from us. I was up here live with Ben Leclerc. We're just waiting to see. Victor Solomon was in first place currently. Don't know where everyone is sitting right now, but thanks for tuning in, you guys. Sorry we are having the technical difficulties. And I'm getting actually the scoring coming up. Huge shout out. Victor Solomon is still in first place right now. He has 77.08. Run 1 and run 2 is a 72.91, so a total accumulated score of 75. Right now on screen, I believe that's going to be Dom. Don't know if I have a delay. I'm looking actually on a phone coverage right here. Dom, I believe that was just showing his Yeah, pardon me, guys. We are also sharing one headset now up here in the booth, so I'm going to try and do my best. Oh, we're getting power back. I'm just going to come back to you guys in a second. Okay, Ben, I think we're back at it here.
Mine's, oh, I'm back too. All right, Jules just finished off his second run. We're so sorry. I didn't see his run either, but he looks really stoked.
Hey, guys.
Oh, yeah, Jules. Everybody looks stoked to see him. Last year, he had a really good run up too. He did a whole good contest and then kind of screwed up in finals, but this year, looks like he stomped it with the back 7 off the first jump. And then the front side 3, backside 1 off of that rail, lands with the rope in his back right before the corner. And then gaps, 270,
Whoa.
right on the tail.
So this is what we're talking about, going for some big changes and pushing to get one of those top spots. Jules?
Hell yeah, Jules. Is that going to be enough for him to get to the top spot? He was in second there.
Second place there. Nice 71.67, right under the 75 from Victor. So we move to our next rider, Dominic Handler. He's currently sitting with a 63.75.
Currently in 5th place. What's he going to do? I think he's going to get a bigger jump off of the first hit right there. We're going to see the Stalefish Pete Rose.
I see that his first pull on this second cable was only weighted at 58. So something must have happened as well.
With a good nose press, front side 3 up of that rail. I bet that's where it plays. With the trick, he's coming back right on there in the hallway. What's he got for his last run? Coming in with the board slide, keeping it safe with the 270. And then with the big gap to finish things off. With the drone angle, 270, tail grab. Gets off a little bit early. But hey, going for the dolphin.
Well, they're still having fun out there in the sun, and we're not the live coverage. Thanks for staying with us online and around the world. We had some technical difficulties. Just lost all power in our station up here. We're not able to communicate with you guys twice, unfortunately, but came back. Here we are live in Montpellier, covering the Wakeboard Pro Finals here. This is the second attempt on Cable 2, which means we're gonna have only one rider left. It's gonna be Victor Salmon to be able to change this board.
Is this gonna be a victory lap for Mr. Victor Salmon?
It is, I do believe, unless Dominic could have got a perfect score coming out here, but score in, I do think the highest his average is going to be.
Keeping the first run, so I think he's going out for the victory run. Victory.
Victor.
He's stoked. He's been having some pretty good contests in the last year, winning an event in Bali and winning here. He's going to be really stoked on the rest of the year, going into the States for another couple of contests. Victor Salmon, what's he got? Coming in on his heels with the little wall ride. See, he's asking next year, can we go back onto those walls?
Yeah, we had said previously we had some big kickers up into the walls in years past. It's nice, though, that they change up the course, kind of gives some diversity, but still in the same location.
But the guys want to, as you can see this year, they want to keep it street. They want to hit the concrete. So Victor with the full pull every time off of this rail. What's he got? He's going back for the wall ride. Little wall ride, backside 180. Finish things off. Give me my check.
Victor coming out from Bangkok. Had like a, I can't remember what he said, 40-hour flight or something like that, 40-hour journey coming up here. I was in the shuttle with him from the airport.
Yeah, coming straight down from Thai Wake Park in Bangkok. It's quite the ride.
Well, there you go. That's the standing. This is how it ended up. We missed a lot of it. Hope you guys got it all at home. Victor Salmon on top there. Jules Shiro, and then Pedro Caldez in third place there. Bobby Kane, Dominic Handler, and Teo Balsa finishing off the top 6. An amazing wakeboard final happening out here in the sun. Sorry, guys, for our technical difficulties. Hopefully you guys were able to get the whole video feed. That's the most important out there. How is the event for you, Ben?
Pretty crazy. I'm stoked to see a French rider finally on the podium. I think it's the first time I've seen that since I've come to this event.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really cool because Jules, he's been killing it. And like I was saying earlier, last year, he was one of the names we were saying, damn, he could win this. And in the finals, it didn't go his way. But now I'm not sure what he did on the second run, but looks like he did well because he finished second, and I'm stoked for him.
Well, we'll have to get some highlights going for us afterwards. If you guys want to go back home, check it out yourself. Highlight reel, of course, is going to be available on YouTube, on our Facebook page. You can re-watch our live cast. You can also go onto Instagram and Twitter. We have lots of unique coverage going on there. That's at FWS World. Hashtag your post, FWS Montpellier, if you want to stay involved with the action out there. But we have some great stuff covering on our Instagram stories as well as on our news feeds there. So stay tuned with all the action there, and we have lots more coming your way. It's the final day of our 5-day FWS Montpellier Marathon. We're going to be going at some big things. However, we got the MC on the wakeboard course going to be presenting to you our top 3 finalists coming out of the beautiful wakeboard contest out there right now.
For the troisième place, first place, j'appelle Pedro Caldez, notre Brésilien. Allez, Brazilian Pedro Caldez. Come here, please, Pedro. Pedro, we need you, Pedro. Direct live, okay. Pedro's come. Third place, Pedro Caldez, sous un tonnerre. Make some noise for Pedro Caldez, please. Thank you very much. Second place, please, rider Red Bull, Jules Shiro. Red Bull rider, please make some noise. Okay, Jules Shiro. You have a fucking smile. He happy? Okay. First place, please. First place, please. Victor Salmon. Victor Salmon for the first place. Okay, Victor. He's very happy. The rider very happy for this fees. Okay, make some noise for this rider, please. Okay, make some noise. People, please. Du bruit, Montpellier.
All right.
Welcome, guys. That was, of course, the top 3 athletes there. It was all about Victor Salmon, though, however, an amazing final. Hope you guys loved it at home. We had a great spot up here, but stay tuned. We have lots of action coming your way. We got the UCI BMX Freestyle Park Finals as well as Flatland. Ryan Meyer, Ben Leclerc, thanks so much for coming up in the booth. I had a great time with you. Take care. We're going to see you later, but stay tuned and locked in for the rest of the action.